fighting for freedoms for about 2 years now, and well, in fact 2 years in next week. But the thing is, it's going to come from different angles, and right now people don't have the freedom to survive. Their survival is threatened with this cost of living crisis, and that's what we're here for today. You know, the cost of living crisis is a political choice. It's not an accident, it's not happening to us. The government have decided to allow it and are not putting measures in place to stop it. And we're saying that absolutely can't be accepted. And it's a human rights issue because Article 3 of our human rights says we have a right to live free of cruel and inhumane treatment. And this is cruel and inhumane. People are dying, people are suffering, people are going cold, people are going hungry. You know, it is absolutely disgusting way to treat the citizens of this nation. You know, 4.3 million children were in poverty before April, and by the end of May they predict it's going to be 6.5 million children living in poverty. Now it's absolutely unacceptable, and the problem is not only is that a difficulty and just an abhorrent state of affairs, it also means that nobody will be able to take action on any of the other issues coming up. Because we've got the Online Harms Bill coming up, the Human Rights Act reform coming up, and if people are cold and hungry, that's going to be their primary focus. They're not going to be able to take action. So it actually disables us and disempowers us from taking action on the other issues, which is why this one, for me, I believe has to come first, so that we can then have people who aren't suffering able to take action on the other issues. And if they don't take action on the other issues, we all know kind of where it leads and where it goes, because you know, people are concerned about social crediting systems, but that can't be made mandatory while we have the Human Rights Act. There's going to be a lot of pushback against the Human Rights Act reform unless everyone's cold and hungry. So it all ties in, and we've got to take every bit seriously. And for me, right now, this is where we've really got to focus. And it's also a great opportunity to reach out to loads of other people who aren't usually with us, you know, and get them to recognise what's going on and what's happening, and that actually these things are a political choice and they can be empowered, they can do something about it, because it affects everybody. And it's not controversial to say that you don't think children should be cold and hungry. In fact, that's a pretty standardised response. It's actually controversial to say that you don't care about cold and hungry children. So this is a really great opportunity for us to reach different people, bring them on board, but it's also absolutely vital. Yeah, so there are court cases going on. There's the Safer to Wait campaign, who are campaigning to raise awareness about how that children should not be being it's too soon, there isn't enough data, and so on and so forth. So there are groups taking action on this, which we fully support. But at the same time, you know, lots of people out there, in terms of getting public support, which is what we need to be, always need to be growing our numbers, don't want to talk about it. They've actually got a trauma response now to anything related. They're all, because actually spending 2 years in lockdown was pretty traumatic for them all. You know, 2 years being masked up and locked down was traumatic. So they don't even want to think about it, don't want to talk about it, don't want to have any. Most of the adults have had their jabs. I'd actually be surprised to see how many 5 to 11-year-olds are actually taken. You know, only 50% of the 12 to 15s got it. So, and I think a lot of people, because it's not the main topic of conversation, people don't want to think about it. I don't think there'll actually be that high of an uptake, which is great news. But I'm fully in support of the groups that are taking action on that. We're, like I say, focusing on, you know, because if we want to save our children, we also need to save them from being in poverty. So yeah, it's all interconnected. And yeah, but we're out today and looking forward to raising awareness. Well, that just provides us a distraction. That's just, for me, you know, there's nothing we could even do about that, even if, you know, regardless of what the truth is behind it, we're also powerless over it. We've got no power over it. We'd actually have more power over the what's going on in Yemen, because the UK sells the bombs to Saudi, who then uses them to bomb Yemen. So we could actually petition our government to say don't sell Saudi any more weapons. But actually what's happening in Ukraine, we've got no influence over, no power over. and it's a perfect distraction to actually what's going on here, and we need to just really focus, keep our eye on the ball. It doesn't even really matter what the truth is over there, as far as I'm concerned, because it doesn't, the impact it's having is that of distraction, and that's what we've got to therefore resist and stay focused on the real issues here in the UK that we can actually have an impact on.